whipping broken chairs at Broken Age, the Double Fine adventure point-and-click game that made over $35 million on Kickstarter. Yeah, or
3.5, not
$3.5 million. Shut up. Shut up, Pedro. I can exaggerate because we're not what are we, pharaonics? Yes.
Apparently.
Yes, we are. It's $35 million. See this article on our website that proves it. All right, you can pick this up from Steam. You can get it right from Double Fine. It's the Moai engine, and you can buy it for $24.99 or £22.99 or a bunch of Dogecoin. Wow, such bargain. Very deal. But what is it? It is a classic point-and-click adventure game in the style of Manic Mansion, Grim Fandango, so on and so forth. And self-described as Broken Age is a timeless coming-of-age story of barfing trees and talking spoons. Bella Tartine and Shea Volta are two teenagers in strangely similar situations, but radically different worlds. The player can freely switch between their stories, helping them take control of their own lives. You can tell the irony there, and dealing with unexpected adventures that follow. Point and click them towards their independence as you control their every action and thoughts.
Yep.
But if you're completely new to the show, we have our whack-ass chair review system. Chair splitation! 1 chair means that it's shit, 2 chairs means that it's meh, 3 chairs means that it's pretty good, and 4 chairs means shut up, take my money. We also have our categories of doom. We rate everything with that metric. We got mixed with the working. Does it work? Does it work well? How well does it perform under Linux? Shiny and sounds. How tickled and treated are your ear and eye pussies? Controls is self-explanatory. And our final subjective category is fun. So then, did Broken Age make with the working?
Broken Age, made with the working. Get ready to take that shot, ladies and gentlemen, on our vanilla Ubuntu 1204 LTS 32-bit NVIDIA 770 powered test boxing. Ran with pretty much no issues I could come up with. One thing I did notice is something I've always said, with past ports like The Cave and what was Jack Black?
Stacking, Brutal Legends.
Brutal Legend. Was a little bit of the humble, not humble, but
humble
Double
herky
Fine.
jerk.
Yeah, that herky jerky bits didn't see any of that in this, but then again, there's not a whole lot of action. Gonna give it what it is, and that's 4 chairs. J-Man, how did it work in Fedora Land?
Perfectly on our AMD-powered, NVIDIA-powered desktop down here, and also on the A1050-800K powered Steam box outside over there. No issues whatsoever, both using the latest proprietary drivers. So I'm going to give that 4 chairs on mix with the working.
Yeah. And on Corora 19 and Corora 20, because I upgraded in the middle of the week.
Didn't test
but yeah, on my calculator with an Intel processor and a 5650 HD AMD chip, it works with the open source drivers out of the box, no problems whatsoever. 4 chairs.
Well, that's 4 chairs for mix with the working. So far, so good. Shiny and sounds. Now, this game has an interesting art style. It's not the most graphically demanding thing, but Ven, are you going to get into that? Oh me, oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Yes, one ring to rule them all. Lord of the Rings kept coming to mind for something. Now, actually, that voice would have been entertaining to listen to.
Andy Serkis voicing the entire game.
Or just the narrator might have been nice. Shiny is what it is. I mean, it's a point and click. Now, it's a different type of Shiny than I remember. I wasn't really big on the Double Fine stuff way back in the day. I was more in the Sierra camp with the King's Quest and all that business. With the pixely goodness that
Roberta, what's her name?
Blew your brain organ back, in like 94, 95 with our EGA graphics. But this does, as advertised. Looks fine. No issues with that. The sounds. brilliant voice acting. We have Jack Black. J-Man's going to name off some other people, but the Hobbit sees Elijah Wood.
The hobbits, the hobbits,
Yeah.
the hobbits, the hobbits, the Isengard, to Isengard.
The Isengard.
We understand where
What did you say?
a little bit of chunk of that money went to. He did a good job, but then again, I was like, shut up, Frodo. Shut up. All right, Frodo. Skip. Spaceball. So just for that little thing, I mean, nothing against the dude. I mean, he did a good job, but in detachment, I was like, go find the fucking ring. So, 3 chairs for that reason. Still good. Liked it. Didn't want to shoot my brain organ out because of bad voice acting. Boom.
Boom. Well, I mean, the game looked, like Vin said, it's a point-and-click adventure game, so you're not expecting balls-to-the-walls graphics, but the art style is certainly interesting. Kind of falls apart once they go and have close-ups of characters talking. You can kind of see the holes in it, but nothing too detracting from the overall experience. There are a bunch of actors from Drawn Together in this series, in this game. So, like, Foxy Brown is the mom. Princess Clara is one of your rivals. There's a scene where they use the Foxy Brown voice and the Princess Clara voice, and I'm like, when is Spanky Ham gonna come in and just start pissing on shit? But yeah, there's some established voice talent in here. Cree Summer, Tara Strong, those are the 2 I mentioned before, and a couple others I haven't really picked up yet. Jack Black's in it. It's a pretty good stable of voice actors, all things considered, and considering we don't really get much good voice acting on Linux, it's definitely a plus. So
pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
So that means it gets 3 chairs. Means pretty good. 3 chairs. They're there.
Yeah.
Pedro.
You know, I'm going to reiterate the fact that we finally have actual actors doing the voice acting.
So
Which-
Pedro, do we have actual voice actors in this game?
Actual voice actors, I don't know. I
Actually?
honestly didn't bother looking at their resumes to see if they had done voice acting before. I'm pretty sure they have, but yeah.
All right, well, riddle me this. What if you're blind and you watch movies? Doesn't that count as them being voice actors?
Yeah, that too.
Loophole.
What if
Loophole
it's a
right
silent
there.
movie?
But yeah, actual actors doing the voice acting, and it sounds amazing. And for once, they actually sound like they're into what they're doing. Like, you know, unlike almost every other indie game under Linux right now. And the graphics, I like them. The hand-painted art style fits because the main characters are being treated as children and they have to sort of grow up. It's got the whole coming of age vibe to it. So it starts hand painted, like all flowery, all pretty, all colorful. And then as soon as you get to the midpoint in both characters' story, the art style gets a bit darker, just enough for you to notice. And I, for one, think that's amazing. They managed to pull that off with graphics that simple. 4 chairs for me.
Well, that's 3 chairs for Shiny and Sounds. Again, very good start. And typical of what we've seen out of Double Fine in the past. So then, Control. I know we have lots to say about this one.
Wow. Have you ever heard of this moon device? I call it a wireless gerbil. They do come in tailed versions,
magic.
mind you. Yes. The whole run, fear, it'll make you worship Satan. That's your controls. This is point and click. No more, no less, as advertised. Spacebar. Huge fan of Spacebar because that's how you skip the repetitive ass cutscenes when you're asking question after question after question after question. But I'll get to that in the fun section. They work for what they are. I actually would not have minded like an areola controller for this. That would have been kind of fun, for a sit-back experience because, being hunched over.
It would have worked better if they had the touchpad in the middle, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but with the trackpads, you can probably sign it to use one of them as the mouse, though.
Pretty decent with the controls. Didn't have any major issues with them. Had little hang-ups every now and then with the mouse or when I was trying to combine items, but nothing at all major. Couldn't give it a perfect score just because of those tiny little bits. So no 4 chairs, boom, 3 chairs.
Except oh, editing will probably make that snafu go away. Ben likes to keep in everyone else's mistakes except for his. But I mean, really, for controls,
Like that silence. I'm going to have to cut that out.
Yeah, you point, you click, you point, you click. I mean, it works as advertised. It's a point-and-click adventure game. It's nothing revolutionary, but it gets the job done. So 3 chairs. I'm able to point and I'm able to click. That fulfills the majority of the criteria for controlling.
So, Pete, man,
anything.
how did it work with your force feedback steering wheel?
I honestly didn't try it because I didn't see an option.
It was
in the
out of
options
control!
menu.
Oh, write a Nerd
Use the
Rage review
controllers.
about how it didn't work with your Thrustmaster.
But yeah, it's like you
He has
guys
the-
said.
he has the
it's
entire
click
MechWarrior setup.
everything all the time. The game.
Mhm.
You click to open your inventory. You click an item on your inventory. You drag it out and click something else. You click the characters. You click the environments. You click everything. I'm just going to duck it
So
one
what do you do
chair.
again?
I will duck it 1 chair because, like most adventure games, it's only challenging until you figure out what was the mindset of the people writing the puzzles while you're playing. As soon as you figure it out, all challenge goes to naught. 3 chairs.
Oh, that's 3 chairs for controls. Again, pretty good. Now, our final subjective category, fun. Then, did it tickle you pink?
It tickled me somewhere. I'll read directly off my show notes. You know, how people tell you to just avoid revisiting childhood nostalgia. Things like the A-Team, Airwolf, He-Man, Debbie's Does Dallas. They say that for a reason, and that reason is it is not what you remember, 12, 13-year-old.
Okay, I have to interrupt you. A-Team holds up.
Yeah. All right. I pity the fool that's going to argue with my review of the fun section. So, you have that. I was thinking, 12, 13-year-old Vin was like, these point-and-click story-driven things were amazing. And they were. But, fast forward to 2014, I got to the point where I was like, all right. And it came very clear at this one spot where I was like, I don't want to ask that question. I don't care. And I don't want to nope out of the dialogue, but that question, then I reverted back to the previous, and the only question, it was like, nope, you're asking that question. You can't even get out of the dialogue anymore. Ha ha! I was like, all right. This is like being spoon-fed the story. And I was like, adult Vin doesn't like this as much as baby Vin did. So for fun, and considering the price, now there's something we should mention. This is the first part. We will get the second part gratis, free, Zed, goose eggs on that. But for the fun, I'm not going to give it a don't try. I'm going to give it a meh. Just keep that in mind, what I said previously. J-Man?
So if you want to think about what baby Ven actually looks like, just picture regular Ven in a diaper with a pacifier
And a pipe.
and a pipe, and then you'll basically see every Wednesday night of Ven's life ever. But on to the topic at hand. The story is interesting enough.
Well, I did like, I just want to come back in with that. I like how you can switch back and forwards.
Yeah, no, that is really nice. That if you get sick of the characters in one story, you can switch to the other one for a little while. Sweetie. Like that fucking word has been ruined for me unless Alex Kingston says it. Otherwise, it just drives me to like a white hot blind.
Pulled me out of that, you'd be the king of England.
Yes, we all know about you and Miss Song.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, the writing is pretty sharp. I found myself chuckling quite a bit during the playthrough. The story itself takes a while to pick up, just because the intro is kind of slow and the characters are infuriating. But those characters go away, and you get new characters.
I believe you spent more time playing the Dame, eh?
Yeah, the fucking spaceship mom thing reminds me too much of my own mother, so I kind of had to stay away from that for fear of my own sanity. So I was mostly playing the girls, and the writing on her side is definitely a lot better than the writing on Elijah Wood. And I mean, give him some credit. He's making do with what he has, but he's not the greatest actor on the planet. He has one tone, and that's whiny. I can't carry the ring, Sam. I want to go. I don't want to eat more ice cream, momship. It's the same thing, but you know what? It's entertaining. I will give it 3 chairs.
3 chairs and ice cream momship is a band name. P-Man.
Yeah, pretty good band name right there. But yeah, I actually finished the story for Shay. That's Shay, right? You
Yeah.
keep mixing it up between Shay and Shane, but yeah, it's Shay. I finished his
Poor Nori.
story-ish for the first act. And like I said, the art style, like I said earlier, the art style fits like the descent from childhood innocence into the realization that the world is actually a very dark place.
Forced analogy
They-
section.
So you mean semen?
That's C-Man.
Yes.
See-Man!
But yeah, I liked it.
And his sidekick Swallow.
I didn't like getting to a certain point and it kind of ending right there and say, it'll be available, the rest of the story will be available in Act 2. And then I switched over to Vela and I started playing and I'm like, I don't want to go through all this again. So, I don't know. $3.5 million should do a lot better than this, at least in the fun department. 2 chairs.
Well, that's 2 chairs for the fun department. And if we average that all up, we get a 3-chair game for Double Fine's Broken Age Act 1.
Check it out.
Yeah, definitely check it out. It had some love cooked into it.
Lots of love cooked into it. Like I said, the only thing, I really wanted in our final thoughts, what we're about to do right now, is, switching back and forward kind of breaks some of the monotony, but, just for me, I kind of feel that this particular genre of game died for a reason. And
Yeah.
that's kind of my final thoughts on it. I enjoyed the game, and again, thanks Double Fine. We keep, Pedro sent a note, and you're like, oh, here's some keys, and I was like, what the? Oh, right, we're a thing. Keep forgetting that. Especially like the last time we did a Double Fine review, and Double Fine on G Plus was like, I hope you liked it. I was like, oh wait, don't watch us. No, bad.
No.
So, final thoughts, J-Man.
It's pretty fun. I still have to finish the story on both ends because I keep switching back and forth and back and forth. But I enjoy the voice acting. I enjoy the story. I enjoy the writing. I would definitely say check this out. It's a bit pricey. I'd maybe wait till it goes on sale, or if you've already
the full thing
Kickstarted
is released, maybe.
Yeah, maybe when the
Yeah,
full
when
thing
the-
is released. Yeah, but if you've already kickstarted it, which a lot of people did because it was one of the biggest Kickstarters, you will be pleasantly, well, not surprised, but you will be pleased by the outcome of the fruits of your labors, really. So that about wraps it up.
Hey-Man, final thoughts.
No.
Wait a second.
Oh, he doesn't count.
I only have
He thinks he's
one-
people, so let him talk.
I only have one gripe with this particular game, which is the episodic fad that Telltale Games started with The Walking Dead. I mean, it worked for Telltale because Telltale are telling kind of a big story.
Now, to be fair, I
And-
don't think they're planning to do episodic. They were just like, fuck it, we don't have it all done, but here's something.
Yeah.
Unlike, I don't know,
yeah.
Chromageddon.
You mean concept art
But
simulator
that brings it
2013?
into the
basically.
early access
2012,
realm of
actually.
things, and early access right now is bad. It's really bad because everyone and their cousin has a game on the Steam store in early access, and they promise you shit that the version you're currently paying for does not have. And
But this is Double
you're
Fine.
paying
They always deliver.
$25 or 23 euros for what will be a 10 to 20 hour long game, and you only get to play like 4 of them. That's my one gripe with it.
Yeah, I could see that gripe, but it's one thing. I would, I don't like early access as a business model, but Double Fine, so good with Linux support. If they say, "Oh, it's coming out," boom, there's money.
Yeah,
I don't even think about it. I just walk away knowing that it's going to show up.
I mean, like between Double Fine and Frictional, those two have been
Yeah.
some of the
Those two
best
have
things for
been
Linux
awesome.
gaming. Period. So I guess that wraps it up for our review of Broken Age.